Welcome to the Essential Ingredient Paran. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make focaccia. We've had a lot of questions surrounding yeast lately, and one of them that stands out is how do you know whether your yeast is activated? Firstly, make sure that your yeast is in date. If it's been sitting around for too long, it's probably not going to work very well. And second of all, as long as your liquid is between 16 and 28 degrees, it's going to work. Even if it doesn't foam up, it still will activate. So I'm using a mixer today. If you don't have a mixer, what you can do is with a bowl, I'm just going to make a little bit of a well in the center here, and I'm going to add my yeast. I'm going to add half my rosemary. We need half a tablespoon of salt. Then I'm going to add 1 cup of warm water, half a cup of milk, and about 50 ml of extra virgin olive oil. So if you don't have a mixer, you would then mix this by hand. Okay, so what we do now, if you don't have a machine, what I'm going to do is show you how to knead your dough. So we pop a little bit of flour on the bench, not too much, because the focaccia dough is quite sticky, but it needs to be. And I've used a 000 flour, so it's a nice soft flour because we want a nice soft dough. So when you bring your flour together, what you want to do is, using the heel of your hand, you want to stretch. What we're doing is we're stretching the gluten in the flour. And that's what gives it that nice, beautiful, bouncy texture. If you need to, add just a little bit more flour, but again, don't add too much flour because you don't want this dry. But you can feel this dough is beautiful and soft. So if you were kneading this from scratch, you would need to do this for at least 10 to 15 minutes. Once your flour is kneaded, we're going to pop it back into the bowl. Just pop a little bit of oil in the bottom of your bowl. And this just stops it from sticking too much. And a little bit on top because we don't want it drying out while it's proving. So what I'm going to do is pop this in a warm spot, pop a tea towel over it, and we're going to wait till that doubles in size. Okay, our dough has doubled in size, so what we need to do now is prove it a second time, ready for cooking. So I'm going to pop quite a bit of olive oil on the bottom of the tray. And we'll just move that around the tray. Then we're going to pop our dough in. And this is the fun bit. So focaccias should be fluffy, but also a little bit oily too. You need to have that beautiful oil through it. And we'll just sprinkle a little bit of rosemary on top. Sea salt. Just a tiny little bit more olive oil on top. And we're now going to leave that to prove, probably for about 10 minutes. And here's our beautiful focaccia just out of the oven. We're just going to pour a little bit more oil on top and just let that sit for 5 to 10 minutes before turning it out and cutting it, and then serving it with your favourite pasta or even just on its own.